Hello, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Emmanuel. Using an IDE as a beginner or intermediate programmer isn't advisable. Yes, we have great IDEs like Visual Studio, PyCharm, WebStorm. I personally use an IDE for large projects, so I don't hate them. Don't think that's why I'm making a video. The purpose of this video is to help you on your journey as a beginner or as an intermediate programmer. Now, before we take a step into the tutorial or into the video, make sure you smash the like button, click the subscribe button, and pop that notification bell right now. Let me see, pop it. Yeah. Now let's get straight into today's video. As a beginner, it's important to write code by yourself without help from most of these IDE features. Now, IDEs help you with a lot of things, including autocomplete, autocorrect. It even tells you where errors are from and how to fix them sometimes before you even run your code, but it's okay. Now, how does this really affect you as a beginner intermediate developer? I mean, you feel like it's teaching you how to write code. If that's what I feel, now let's get into it. You shouldn't be afraid of getting errors. In fact, you want to get a lot of errors as a beginner and you want to solve those errors yourself, and that's the thing with IDEs. It solves those errors, some of these basic errors for you, or it just suggests it to you and then you just click okay, and your code is fine, which shouldn't be. That way you're actually thinking you're learning some skills, but you're not actually learning, you're not really learning things. Now, it's a great skill as a programmer to understand why something broke. I mean, why we have certain errors, where the error is from, and how to fix those errors. Now, see this as an opportunity because this way you gain more experience in solving problems. So for example, imagine you're using an IDE, you get a syntax error. This IDE is probably going to suggest you, okay, this is where to fix it, and then you're just going to click next. But I bet with you next time, if you're using a code or text editor and you get that same error, maybe a week or a month after, you're not going to be really sure about to solve that problem because the IDE actually suggested it to you. You didn't think of the way of solving it. So using code editors or text editors are going to teach you how to, it's going to make you gain more experience in solving problems. And don't worry, I'm going to talk about the code editors you can make use of later at the end of this video. You can just check the chapter. If you agree with what I'm saying here and you understand, just skip to that chapter and just watch the text editors and IDEs. Now you can see this opportunity as well by also learning how to search for solutions online by yourself, so that when you eventually start working on big projects, it will be easy for you. So when you get errors, you don't have to rely on the IDE to just provide solutions to you. You just search, go on Google, search online, which of course I'm going to make a video on how to search for things on Google very soon, probably in the next 4 weeks. You should see it. Now I'm going to talk about some other things you need to also take note of while you're using IDEs. Okay, so you need to understand basic syntaxes. When using an IDE, yes, coding might be fast for you as a beginner. You might get to think that you already know this syntaxes so well, even while the IDE does it for you. The truth is, you most likely don't know it. Okay, now let's take it. Let's have a quick test. If you're using an IDE, open a text editor like Notepad, or if you're using a MacBook, just open a Note, or whatever sort of, or the software you use for Note, and create a class or write a basic function. And see what I mean? I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but it's for your own good. It's for your good. As you can see, it might be a bit difficult for you than someone that has been writing this from scratch all over and over again. Now, my problem with IDEs exactly pertaining this is IDEs hinder your learning experience as a beginner, which is very important. I think what separates a beginner from a very good beginner programmer is the ability to easily understand and solve problems fast. Trust me, you won't always get access to your IDEs to solve problems for you, or sometimes they won't even be able to solve some problems for you. This in turn might be frustrating for you and might even get you slow, or just slow you down. And those are my basic points. So let's get into something else. Now, when should you ever use an IDE? You can use them when you are no longer practicing the basics, when you know how things really do work, or you're putting different apps together to build a large application. So when you know how to write a function well, to create a class well, then you can put these basic things together without having to worry about if you are right or wrong putting these basic things together. And I'm not talking about the logic now, I'm talking about the code structure, being able to put syntaxes together. Now, I'm sure you understand what I mean. So you don't use an IDE when you are trying to build mini projects. Okay, even when you're already good with these syntaxes and all this stuff, the basics. You don't use an IDE when you're using building mini apps like the ones in my Python beginners or intermediate project series here on YouTube. If you don't know about that, I'm gonna link that in the description below. And that's why you see me use stuff like Sublime Text in all of those videos. Okay, so I believe some people, beginners and intermediate, are going to want to download the tutor or what the person on YouTube is using, so they will most likely use, and that's why I use Sublime Text to make you guys learn faster. Now I'm gonna talk a bit about the editors and IDs I've been talking about. So I mentioned some IDs earlier in this video. Now note that lightweight editors like Sublime Text or other lightweight editors like the Python IDE, LE, Atom are not IDEs, they are code editors. Even VS Code is not really an IDE. VS Code is just a powerful source code editor. As far as you don't install those extensions that qualifies to be called an IDE, you are good, or at least you can disable those features if you have them enabled. So IDEs are usually very heavy and they have a lot of features. So when it comes to building large applications, you can use IDEs, you can use PyCharm, you can use, depending on what you do, just search for the IDEs in your field. Now that's it guys, thanks for watching. I would love to know what you really think about the IDEs and code editors. If you enjoyed this video, then you should give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on my next epic content. Much love guys, peace out.